Here we go. We're going to start another video on working on this little Craft Air Scout 15. I hope everybody is getting through the other stuff okay. Haven't heard too much from people. But we're going to work on the formers today, and the formers are going to be pretty much like how we did the tops and the bottoms. This airplane has really simple straight up and down formers, which makes it easy. When you design airplanes, especially converting to electric, you might want to make sure you put some down thrust in that firewall. But we're going to just follow the plans here and move on along. So this works very similar to how we did the tops and bottoms as far as creating the tabs. You don't have to create tabs on these. That's up to you, depending on how you want to build it. So what I'm going to do is make sure I have the fuselage components selected, and I'm going to create offset planes. I'm going to select that plane, and I'm going to move these planes over to where these formers, or bulkheads as they call them in the ship world, start. And just as simple as that, we're going to repeat that offset. We can pull from the same one here. And just like so. Actually, I'm going to bring this one back a little bit. Sometimes if you're not able to turn the construction folder on, if you're not able to see where that's lining up, you can make these planes bigger. If you grab an edge, you see where it turns blue. You can also grab a corner and make them bigger that way. It doesn't mean that that's only the area that you can draw in. With the plane, you can draw anywhere. I'm going to turn off all these other planes that we created the other day. Don't need them, just need these for the formers. And let's create another offset plane. And I'm going to go ahead and pull from this one. It really doesn't matter because they're all running parallel to each other. And you just got to remember which way that the material is going to go. Like here, I'm going to go back. And on this one, I'm going to go forward with the material when I do this. Now, there are no formers back here, and with this type of construction, it's usually fine, because especially when you do tab lock construction or tab and slot construction, this locks in really nice, and you don't get any movement back there. So this is pretty good. We just have 3 formers here. All right, and let's go around here to this first one. Go home. There we go. I can turn off my my canvases now. I don't need them. And I want to create this firewall. I'm going to start a sketch on the firewall. I'm also going to hit slice. And what slice does, slice will cut it where we have that plane. So it's pretty handy to have. And if you're doing tab slot, then all you really need to do is make a rectangle. Wait for my computer to catch up here. Make a rectangle bigger than the area, and we're going to dimension all that so it's fully defined. If you're just making a regular former, you can project all these lines and then just use that for your extrude. So now let's go ahead and define this. Alrighty. I hope everybody that's up in the east is not getting hammered too bad with all that weather. Okay, so that one's good. We're going to finish that sketch. Let's go ahead and do the same thing here. I'm going to hit slice. And going to do the same thing. Just draw a rectangle bigger than what that size is right there. And I'm going to define that. Oops. Don't need that. Well, let's just make these parallel. It doesn't like that either. I bet it likes that. There we go. And we're going to do the same thing on this last plane. Slice it and just make a big rectangle. And define it. And there we have it. Okay, so I'm going to come up on here, and I'm going to call this firewall. It may have another designation. Let's turn on the canvases and see what they're calling them. That's F1, F2, no, that's fine. I'm going to call that firewall F2 and F3. There we go. All right. And here we're going to extrude this one back. And I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I'm going to turn off all these bodies here. And I'm going to hit the extrude, and I don't know, I guess we'll cut this out of 1/8 inch. Probably 3/16 might be a little better, but if you're electric, 1/8 inch is fine. And we're going to call that good. And while we're here, we're going to go ahead and do these others. These will be 1/8 inch light ply. And does this one go back or forward? Let's make sure. I think it goes forward. Yes, it goes the other way. So we're going to make this negative. Not double negative. That would be a positive. There we go. And do this former right here. Now that's the one we want. 125. And there we have it. Now we don't need the canvases, and we're going to go ahead and turn, let's just turn this top sheeting on. I'm going to rename this to hatch. That's probably more what that's going to be. Okay. And I want to start splitting this up. So I'm going to go to split body. Select this as my target body, and we're going to select just this top surface to cut, and there we have it. And this little bit we don't need, so I'm going to remove that, call that good, and then let's turn on the bottom front sheeting. There we go. And we're going to do the same thing with that piece. Split body. We want to split this body with this plane and call it good. We want to remove this. Okay. And while we have this here, this one actually crosses the bottom of this former, so we'll do the same thing here. We just want that surface. We don't want the whole thing, because you want to make sure and cut through that entire piece. All right, there's that. Now let's turn on this sheeting, and we're going to do the same thing here. There's a lot of rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Okay. Let's get rid of this. And repeat here. remove that. Now let's get the bottom of these. Okay. So we'll say that I've been experimenting with this program for a little while and trying to flatten out surfaces like these curved fuselage sides and other curved surfaces. I found a way to do some of that, and I actually ran to the laser cutter yesterday and cut some of that out, and it came out amazingly well. I am very pleased with how Fusion did that. Okay, now we're going to do the sides the same way. Let me turn these top pieces off and leave those on. We can actually label these as well. Firewall F2. And this one F3. Okay, so we're going to do real similar to splitting body here. I'm going to select it, and then for the splitting tool, I'm going to select. You see how it just selects faces? Well, sometimes if you click on an edge, now the whole thing is highlighted. I want to highlight the whole thing, and I'm going to show you why. So once I do that, and now let's turn this side off. You can see how it split this in several pieces. This is what I don't want. And now, oh, it was connected still somewhere. We'll have to work on that. Maybe that is not what I want. Let's see here. Oh, it just cut that little strip out right there. All right, we're going to go back and do that differently. Yeah, split body. Okay, let's do the faces. Because of that notch where it's hitting, it didn't quite do like I wanted. We want to split this, and we're going to split it with this face and call that good. All right, let's remove this. That's how we want it. Split body again, and come here on the inside of wherever I'm at. Nope. Split body. Select that face. Hit OK. And now we should have the little strip that we want there. Yep, that's exactly what we want. Okay. Now let's do the same thing on this side. Okay, split body. Come in here, like so. We're going to remove this piece. Okay. And one thing I did forget to do was use the inside to split these pieces too. Split body again, and I want to use this inside face to cut there. And you can select multiple tools and multiple bodies to split. You just have to make sure that you're not going to split a body in the wrong side there. And let's go split body again. We want to split this, and we want to split it with this tool. Okay. Now, I'm going to just show how to do this one, and then I'll do the others as an addendum. One thing I like to do is create a couple of offset planes here in the middle for these formers. And I'm going to make the center tab to be a 1/2 inch. So we're going to go 1/2 inch that way, or should 1/4 inch, my bad, So I want the total width to be 1/2 inch. I need more coffee this morning. So that means I got to have 1/4 inch on each side. There we go. And let's do the same thing on this side, 0.25. Now with these planes, let me turn the origin off. This is what I'm going to create, the top and bottom tabs, and they're all the same, so you can do all these at the same time. Let's turn the hatch off and this bottom piece off. We can actually turn that off too. So we're going to go back to split body. We want to split this one and this one. And the tools we want to use are this one and this one. Click OK. And we're going to remove that. Going to remove that. Going to remove that. Going to remove that. So we end up with this little bit. And then we are going to combine. We want to go join, keep, do not keep tools. This is our target, and we're going to join these. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did. We're going to do this on the sides as well. And we're going to do the same as we did before when we put the tops and the bottoms and connect it to the fuselage. So if you go to the hatch here, I'm going to hit combine, but this time I'm changing my operation to cut. I want to keep tools. This is my target. This is my tool, and here we have it. We've got notch where we need it. So that's all basically the same thing we've been doing. So I'm gonna finish this one up. Let me turn my alarm off. Sorry about that. I'm gonna finish this one up, and then you should be able to see how this goes. Let's come in here, and here I'm going to do plane along path like we did before. I'm going to select this path, and if I go, it should hit that point, which is where I want, because I don't want this top part. And I'm going to change this to physical, and that's 3.002. And I want a 1/2 inch top and bottom tab here on the firewall. So I'm going to go minus 0.5. That's going to bring me down to there. And I still want to cut this little top part off here. So I'm going to have to put a plane or something to cut that with right there. So we're going to do that. And we're going to come back to this other side, the bottom. Do the same thing. Now, let's see here. Let's edit this one. Because once there's one on a point, it doesn't want to, there we go, edit feature. And we're going to put this at 0.5. Actually, we have to go, I can't see my keyboard here because of my microphone. 0.127 plus. There we go. That gives me a 1/2 inch. And come back in here, hit it, go down to that point. I don't want the bot. Yeah, that's where I want it, right there. Okay. Nope. I want it on that point. Hit OK. Split body, split this body, and split it with these 4 planes we created. Hit OK. Get rid of the excess by removing. Do not use delete. Remove. Remove. And I'm going to try and mirror this. And we'll see how that works. I'm going to hit S to bring up my shortcuts. I'm going to select mirror. We want to mirror bodies. And the mirror plane is going to be that center plane. Turn those off. Come up here. And let's see how lucky we get. We want to join. And all those look good. You'll know you have a problem if you end up with a little line showing there, and that's when it's probably not going to work right. And I accidentally hit keep tools. I don't want to keep tools. Edit feature. No keeping the tools. Now we don't have those lines there. Okay, and then we're just going to combine and cut for our fuselage sides and bottom. We're going to go cut. This time we're keeping tools. This is our target body. This is our cutting tool. And select OK. You're going to repeat that. Target body, tools, OK. And let's see if I've got that bottom front sheeting to do. Combine. That's what we want to combine. That's our tool. Keep tools. OK. Now when we remove the firewall, you can see that we have notches through on every piece, just like we wanted. Alrighty, I hope you guys continue and are having good luck with this so far, and I'll keep making these videos. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend.